I got the chance to go to Pokemon Go Fest 2023 in New York City, and I wanted to share with you guys my experience when I went. Before we dive into the video, I just wanted to do a quick shout out for Wazakas Gaming and Duckscardnest. They were both great enough to share their footage with me, just because there were things that I missed, but I'm going to link them in the description. You should definitely check them out. They have some fun content on their pages as well. Now, it's important to note for this event, you are able to purchase tickets depending on time slot, and I believe each time slot is about 4 hours. You start either in the city and you make your way over to Randall's Island, which the main event took place, or you do the exact opposite where you start on Randall's Island and then you make your way into the city for other research tasks as well. I managed to get the first time slot of the day, which means that we had to be in the city and on Randall's Island by 9 a.m., which is super early, but I figured it'd be the best experience to go right in the morning and then hanging out in the city and doing all the other tasks afterward. So one of the cool things about this event is the fact that there was no need for a physical ticket or a check-in. You purchase the ticket through the app or online, and basically it just activates on your account during the allotted time slots. So when you cross over to the island, there are no lines to wait on, no bags to be checked, nothing like that. All you need is to make sure that you purchase that ticket and it will activate on your phone when the time begins. Now, crossing over to the island, it was super fun. You saw everybody wearing their favorite Pokemon outfits, costumes, and more. Everyone was just in an awesome mood and super ready for the event. And once we were on the island, we kind of found ourselves making our way over to what they called the athletic field, which seemed to be like their central hub where most people were hanging out and conversing and battling and doing stuff. So one of the first things that caught my eye once we entered the athletic field were actually the huge tents they had representing all the teams. In the athletic field, we saw a tent for Team Valor and Team Instinct, and then farther down the island, there was actually one for Team Mystic as well. And in these tents, they had staff running different things like trading sessions, raffles, and contests, which were really cool. A lot of people were interacting with that, and they do things like ask people who has like the smallest Pokemon of a specific breed. If you did, you'd get a little prize, which I thought was really fun. Now, in addition to those tents, we also saw a whole bunch of other things that grabbed our eyes. Most notably were the inflatables. There were inflatables for Eevee, Snorlax, and Lucario. Lucario was looking extra thick for some reason. I don't know why, but you know, he must be doing some extra workouts throughout the day, which, you know, power to him. Now, it wasn't much longer after we got settled that we ended up meeting up with Wazakas Gaming and Duckscardnest, and they were basically our buddies all throughout the day. We hung out the entire day and we did the events together. So now it's 9 o'clock. What happens once that 9 o'clock starts? Now, once that time comes by, we are given two different types of research. We are given the Go Fest 2023 New York City Park Adventure, which takes place on the island, like we said. And then we have the Go Fest 2023 New York City Sights. So that is after you're done at the park and you're deciding to travel throughout the city. You get to catch special Pokemon and stuff there. We'll elaborate more on that when we get off the island. So pretty much the research missions and tasks we had to do on the island all corresponded with different areas on said island. So we actually ended up having to go to 4 different areas on the island to do said missions, and those areas were the Cursed Treasure Habitat, the Poison Swamp, the Prehistoric Volcano, and the athletic field, which we were already starting in. Each area had a giant display that you would not be able to miss, that you were able to take photos on, but it was basically there to let you know that you were in said area, and each Pokemon that would spawn near there would basically be different depending on where you were on the island. And I really want to stop for a second to point out that in the athletic area, there was a giant gym that you would see in the game, and it would signify what team has captured that gym throughout the day. So you would see it change teams and colors throughout the day, which I thought was an awesome detail to even think to do. And for those people who needed to charge up their phone throughout the day, there were designated areas that looked like Pokestops that people were able to just plug in their phones and chill by until they were ready to move on to the next area, which I thought was really cool. One of the big attractions for these types of events is the fact that you are able to capture Pokemon that aren't really native to the area you live in. So since we were in the United States, there were Pokemon like Kangaskhan, Sigilyph, and more that you typically can't catch in the United States, which makes the event more alluring for most people so they can complete their Pokedex. There were also special unknown forms that were debuting those days. I managed to catch a shiny exclamation point unknown, which is one of those exclusive forms, which was awesome. And there was also a special Pikachu for the event that wore an amethyst tiara or crown, which is also pretty cool. So besides these exclusive Pokemon that would spawn all over the island, there were also the raid Pokemon. Now, the ones they had in rotation that we battled were Xerneas, Yveltal, Cresselia, and we ran into a Mega Salamance raid as well. The cool thing about these raids though were the fact that if you caught them, they had a special New York City background, which is only exclusive to the Pokemon you catch during the event. But the one thing I'll point out is the fact that we hung out in a group of 6, and only one of us was able to catch one shiny legendary throughout the 4 hours we were on the island, which is a little weird considering we did a lot of raids throughout the day. I feel like there was something up with the shiny odds the day of the event, because a lot of other events that they do throughout the world, I managed to get shinies much easier. So I don't know if it was just a us thing, a complete fluke, or if they managed to lower those shiny odds for this specific event. I don't know, but take that for what you will. As we did more exploring throughout the island, we were able to find a battle area, which was really cool. It was run by staff where basically you can go up against a random person or you can go with your friends, and they kind of act like a referee for you to do a battle with your phone. So there was like a little circle on the ground and you guys both stand within the circle and start your Pokemon battle, which didn't need to be done, but it was such a nice touch to even think to do that. And seeing people jump into those circles and start battling, they just, there's something about it that was just like super cool overall, and they should definitely keep doing that for future events. We also passed a meet and greet area for content creators that were really well known in the Pokemon Go community. And hey, if you hit subscribe, maybe one day I'll be popular enough to be invited to one of those events one day. And also one of the cool things they had there was actually a video area where you can go with friends, and they basically project into the video like a Mega Rayquaza that comes out, and like you can react and pretend to be scared or pretend to, like, you know, interact with the Rayquaza. So that was a really cool touch as well. I didn't have time to stop and do it, but next time I'm gonna make time if it's there. So there was definitely a lot more to do during the event. It's just there was not enough time no matter how much we wanted to. 4 hours seems like a lot, but when you're doing the research tasks, recording for a video, and basically just trying to get through everything and see everything, it really isn't enough time. That being said, towards the end of our time on the island, we managed to get ourselves in line for the pop-up Pokemon Center that they had in the athletic field. That was such a good time. There were so many different types of plushes, so much apparel. They didn't have the Team Mystic jacket that I wanted. It was sold out, and I was in the first group of the day. So I'm very upset about that because everyone else got the teams they wanted except for the Mystic people, so they really need to stock enough for next time. Overall though, I had so much trouble picking out what I was gonna buy and what I was gonna leave. Basically what I ended up getting was this hat that you see me wearing right now, this shirt, which is really cool. It has Rayquaza right there, Rayquaza, whatever you want to call him. I got this Pikachu dressed up as Mega Ampharos, this Mew Poké Doll, which is really cute, and this Charmander Poké Doll, which is also just as cute. Look at his little face. And that was basically our experience on the island. We had a lot of fun. We joined a lot of raids, battled with a lot of people, made a lot of friends, and overall, it was such a fun experience, especially the range of people who were there. There were young kids, there were older, elderly people. It was so nice to see everyone just really into one thing at once. It kind of reminded me when Pokemon Go first launched back in, I think it's like 2016, where everybody was just walking around in a good mood, and everyone knew what everyone else was doing. I gotta say, I loved it. After we left the island, we soon learned there wasn't much to do with that New York City sites mission. All the Pokemon that would spawn throughout the city were exactly the same. All the raids were the same with the exception of Mega Rayquaza now being in the mix, which was really cool. Again, none of us managed to get a shiny one of him, which was a little disappointing, but we managed to finish all our missions by the time we left, so we were pretty happy about that. Editing Chris here. I totally forgot to mention that the whole point of one of the research missions was to get Diancie and be able to Mega Evolve it into Mega Diancie, and I believe this is the first time it's available in Pokemon Go, so whether they're introducing it later on, you're basically going to be getting this Mega Diancie much earlier than the rest of the people in the Pokemon Go community. Overall, the event was super fun. I would definitely go back if they come back to New York next year. The only complaints I have was the allotted time, because once that 4-hour mark goes over, they turn off the event on the island and you're forced to go into the city. And also, I feel like we spent, I forget how much I spent. I think it was $25 a ticket. I feel like we spent enough money to warrant being able to walk off the island with a shiny legendary or mythical Pokemon. But, you know, those are little nitpicks. Overall, it was such a good time. I had a great time with Wazakas Gaming and Duckscardnest, and I think we definitely go for any events they have in the future. In total, I ended the day with 14 shiny Pokemon, which was awesome. I've never gotten that many shiny Pokemon in a single day before, and I'm pretty happy with the Pokemon that were shiny. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think. Would you go to a Pokemon Go Fest in the future? Did you go to this one in New York City and I missed you? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to like this video and slam that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.